Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
So good to see Patricia. Welcome to DBL, everyone. It's Wednesday, March 31st. I'm Tori here, and it's Ladies' Day. We got Lindsay, we got Erica. How are you, ladies?
I love a Ladies' Day.
I always try and do that. Yeah.
I never try to do that, but I'll try it today.
I'm very proud of your effort. All right, we do want to get straight to this. There's more emotional testimony at the trial of Derek Chauvin in Minnesota. This off-duty Minneapolis firefighter and paramedic got very choked up as she recalled how she begged to help George Floyd when she believed he was dying on the street. Take a look.
There was no medical assistance on scene, and I got there and I could have given medical assistance. That's exactly what I should have done. I also offered, in my memory, I offered to walk them through it, or told them, if he doesn't have a pulse, you need to start compressions, and that wasn't done either.
Things then got really heated between she and Derek Chauvin's defense attorney that led the judge even to step in. We have that. Take a look at this.
And would you describe other people's demeanors as upset or angry?
I don't know if you've seen anybody be killed, but it's upsetting.
You will not argue with the court. You will not argue with counsel. Mm-hmm. They have the right to ask questions. Your job is to answer them.
I was finishing my answer.
I will determine when your answer is done.
Okay, well.
And so, do not argue with the court. Do not argue with counsel. Answer the questions. Do not volunteer information that is not requested.
Wow. Another witness who testified yesterday was a 9-year-old girl who talked about how she felt witnessing what happened to George Floyd. Take a look at this.
I was sad and kind of mad.
And tell us, why were you sad and mad?
Because it felt like he was stopping his breathing, and it's kind of like hurting him.
What did you think of all this testimony, and was it smart to have a 9-year-old testify? Erica, you work with CASA and child advocacy in court, so talk to me about that age appropriateness. How did you feel about it?
You know, it's hard to say because it really comes down to like land case. So basically, if the child's able to speak for themselves or not.
I see.
And because this is a child who is a witness to something that happened outside of themselves, that would be a little different than a child advocating for themselves.
Oh, I see.
But children are very, they tell you what they saw or experienced. I think that when we start thinking about kids, we try to make it seem as though they're less capable. They aren't. This child came on stand and simply told what she saw. I did think that the judge seemed a bit overzealous.
What's with that?
Oh, man.
And I think that it has to be about the idea of generally it's you're the judge, it's your courtroom, and this probably feels less like his courtroom, so he's exerting a little bit more pressure.
That's a good point. Lindsay, you and I both made a face at that judge when he was talking to the paramedic who was simply, I thought, trying to tell her witness testimony.
Right, and you see that they tried to paint a picture of a lot of people. So the first thing I want to talk about is the paramedic. She said she stayed on scene after George Floyd was taken away just because she felt like the other black people in the vicinity would not be safe. So she stayed there. And how disgusting is it that to think of? And then to think about a 9-year-old girl who's not allowed on camera, but she's allowed to testify for a murder trial.
That she saw.
Right, that she saw with her own eyes. You have to remember that a lot of the world, including myself, I can only speak for myself, was traumatized black people last year. So imagine if you were actually there recording and then had to talk about it again. A lot of black people that I know don't even want to watch this trial, can't even listen to it without the images of 9 minutes of George Floyd dying in front of our faces. And so I think that to think about a 9-year-old girl, yes, we need this because the justice system has been unjust to black people. So we need this. It's unfortunate that we have to watch a kid talk about somebody dying and being killed for, in my opinion, no reason. And so to watch this, you know, I'm just like so sad and heartbroken that she has to relive this over and over again, and she's this young, because we see the adults that can't even deal with this case properly. And so for a 9-year-old to be doing this is just really heartbreaking.
It reminds me of Ruby Bridges, doesn't it? It reminds you of young, sort of, she'll always go down as someone who, we needed that testimony, we needed to hear her emotion, and she did it well, and she'll go down as someone that might have changed the court, the testimony of the court, and the juror's verdict. Let us know what you think about all of this. If you're a paramedic especially, or a firefighter, write us in, Facebook or YouTube. Well, we got some news about the pandemic. There's some good news and there's some bad news. So we're going to start with the good news. Pfizer just announced results from its clinical trials showing that its vaccine is 100% effective and well tolerated in kids ages 12 to 15. That's awesome news. Now to the bad news, doctors are saying the next surge isn't on the horizon, but it's already here as COVID-19 cases are now rising in 27 states. Now some are wondering if this new fourth wave could lead to another lockdown like the one we had last spring. So the question is, are you ready for another lockdown? No, I'm not. I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. I'm an extrovert. I need my people. I haven't seen my people. I haven't done anything with anyone, but I get it. I'll do it because I'm a patriot. What do you think?
No one's ready for another lockdown.
Oh, no.
But the problem is people weren't adhering to the first, the second,
the third. Yeah.
So now, even though a lot of people and millions of Americans have been vaccinated, I think that the pressure is going to be in a different way, because there's going to be the people who are vaccinated and they're ready to get back and live their lives, and the people who maybe aren't and are continuing not to follow protocol, or even people who are vaccinated and are continuing not to follow protocol. So I think that there's going to be a little bit more added pressure, especially because we're rolling into the second summer where the economy is going to be affected again, and people are really looking just to get back to business.
Yeah.
So I think the pressure is going to be very internal, and it's going to be communal.
I think so too, and I don't know the stat, I'm not a statistician, but the spring breakers, I was like, yo, you're making this harder for us all, right?
I mean, I just am avoiding all the stories. Like, so, you know, when you go on your phone, you swipe over and it gives you like a list of the day's biggest news. And every time it says something about COVID, I don't want to see it, because one day it'll be like, okay, cases are going down and like we're doing good. A lot of people are getting the vaccine. And then the next day it'll be like surge is rising. And so I can't even deal with it. I can't deal with it. I need to get out the house. I don't know what's going on. I just really am over it. And I'm going to have like a breakdown if I can't get out the house. I need to see people around, a lot of people, my whole family, not just my mom who's vaccinated. You know, I need to like be around people.
I know, yeah, you're like me, but the doom scrolling is what they call it, is when you can't stop. And they say you refresh and refresh to get that dopamine hit. So be careful if you find yourself literally doing this, because I did, and I had to take Twitter away. I really did. I put it like 3 pages over, which
you get like a
that was your takeaway.
Yeah.
3 pages over.
It's so hard to get to. This is difficult. All right. Well, tomorrow is April 1st, also known as April Fool's Day. And already we're getting a look at some pranks, okay? These never go well. Up first, Volkswagen has admitted that its plan to be rebranded as Volkswagen was actually an April Fool's Day stunt. That's not that funny.
Yeah.
It was all part of a rollout for its new electric SUV that's now available. That's not a great one, huh?
I think everything's funny, and that wasn't funny.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I don't know.
Up next, we have GMA host Michael Strahan. He's unveiled a new smile. He got rid of the trademark gap in his front teeth, but some are speculating that it's actually an April Fool's Day joke. Take a look and see what you think.
In the moment, 50 years in the making. Here we go. Let's do it. I love it.
Oh my God, no.
No.
So it's like Madonna. So here's Michael Strahan's gap before and after. What do you think? Is this an April Fool's Day stunt? He went pretty far if it's an April Fool's Day stunt.
It's not. Those are caps. Those are temporary caps.
Temporary, so he can take them off.
Yeah, because it doesn't even look like, I see. This is my second set of veneers. They just don't look like, unless it's like the veneer before the veneer, like the temp.
Right.
I think it's an April Fool's Day.
I hope it is. That gap means a lot. There's a lot in that gap. Am I right?
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't say
Relatability
there's
is in
in
that
it,
gap.
literally, but I think it's a good gap. It's his signature look.
Totally.
You know how some people have like really thick eyebrows, like the dude that plays basketball, unibrow. Like, it's just your look. Don't cut your eyebrows. Don't fix the gap. I mean, Cardi B fixed her gap. I actually liked when she fixed it. But Michael Strahan's been doing this on TV for way longer than Cardi B, and I just think he needs to stick to what we all know by now.
And what's the one, Lauren Hutton? Is that the one? She's got a great gap, right? You need a good gap. I have a little gap. It's not helpful. Coming up on DBL, former reality TV star and businessman Bill Rancic. He's telling Jeff all about his new mission to help patients beat cancer after his wife's Juliana's brave battle. And we're getting to hear from Britney, guys. She's finally reacting to that explosive documentary about her financial situation. What she's saying, that's coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
Lots of folks are talking online about foregoing COVID-19 tests after getting vaccinated, essentially celebrating the fact that they'll never have to take another test again after getting their shots. But is this sentiment in line with the official guidance? Our question is, are vaccinated people exempt from COVID-19 tests? For more, we went to the CDC and North Carolina's State Health Director, Dr. Elizabeth Tilson. It turns out the answer comes down to symptoms.
People who are fully vaccinated, which means that you're at least 14 days after your last dose. If you have any symptoms of COVID, you still should get tested. It is just people who are fully vaccinated. If they have a close contact but they don't have any symptoms, then they don't need to get tested.
But the CDC reminds even the vaccinated with no symptoms pass only goes so far. There could be additional testing requirements in certain situations and in certain states and localities. For example, it says if you were to travel internationally and come home, you'd still have to test to re-enter the country, regardless of vaccination status. So here's how we're breaking down this verify. Are vaccinated people exempt from COVID-19 tests? For an exposure with no symptoms, the answer is yes. For an exposure with symptoms, the answer is no. And for re-entry to the U.S. after travel, it's also no. With your Verify, I'm Vanessa Rufus.
Welcome back to DBL. Look at that. Our big shout out to our coworkers tuning in from home during the pandemic. We've got Kiri. Look at Chin Chin over there. Hi, Chin Chin. I like calling him out. Stu. Movie review. We miss you all so much. Can't wait to give you all snuggles. Well, Britney Spears has finally broken her silence about a very controversial documentary exploring her life in the spotlight. And it's not what you'd think. So Britney posted a lengthy message on Instagram yesterday, along, of course, with a video of her dancing. She wrote that she didn't watch the New York Times doc framing Britney Spears, but said from what the little she did see of it, she was embarrassed by the light that they put her in and ended up crying for 2 weeks. She added that she just has felt judged and exposed her whole life, and she needs to dance to keep her sanity and to feel human and alive. Page 6 is also reporting that Britney's father has filed legal papers requesting the singer pay more than $3 million in legal fees due to their ongoing conservatorship battle. I gotta say, her father is, that's my feeling, but I don't care for the father at all, and that's my opinion. Interesting to think that Britney, where we're all like, I apologized after this documentary. I thought finally someone's sticking up for Britney, and she didn't think it was her narrative. What do you think?
I think that's really the hardest part, when it's not your narrative, but it is your story.
It's weird.
Yeah, I just watched the Tina Turner documentary last night, and just how traumatic it has been for her to not own her narrative. And just you watch like a Britney Spears, anytime you're the first of something and how you just get consumed by the public, I just wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
No, I agree. I thought it wasn't an authorized biography, but I thought it was like real, and she's saying it's very little to do with her.
And it seems like everybody was campaigning for her and on her side after it aired, and then she's just like, I hated this, and I didn't have a good experience with this. And it's weird because she's been talking about being judged constantly. So even the people who weren't on her side, this documentary came out, and then she's getting judged once again. And I think she's probably just tired of this battle being public with her family member, because you guys can imagine feuding with a family member is hard and annoying, but imagine doing it publicly, and then it gets this messy where now he's suing her. I feel bad for her.
See, that's always been the thing, though. I think when people come out and they support you and they stand you, then people, it's like, my intentions are good, so this is a great thing.
Right.
But is it really a great thing for the person who's on the receiving end? And I know you apologize. I've certainly gotten backlash for saying things, but it's always been my thought, like, if I were in that situation, I would want it to go under the radar. However, it did a lot of good to have people bring what the issues up were, because otherwise going under the radar might have meant that she could have continued to be abused.
Or I think her conservatorship and the Free Britney movement, whether or not she's 100% behind it, did take off, and that had momentum, and she clearly wants her dad off of her conservatorship. I want to make it clear to our audience, she doesn't not want a conservator. She knows she's not great with money. She knows she needs help, but she'd rather have this woman Joy do it, and I think that documentary helped her in that way, in some ways. But interesting about narratives, right? Who's telling the real story? It's important to figure that out. Coming up on DBL, a one-on-one with Bill Rancic. I had such a crush on him. From life with Giuliana to what he's learned since winning The Apprentice nearly 20 years ago. Don't miss it.
Recently, I live in New York City now. I live in Queens, which has a very large Asian population. There have been reports of, just the ugliest names, the ugliest slurs. They feel like mud coming out of my mouth. But, I have friends who have had rocks thrown at them when they're trying to go for a jog. You hear stories about a 65-year-old woman getting hit in the head. It's reached a fever pitch that is new.
DBL.
I'll just be really 100. We always pull the curtain back on this show.
The most diverse team of voices in daytime.
You know I love you, and I feel that.
We're known for our authentic take.
I'm thrilled about it.
I can't.
Yeah. You aren't shocked.
Have you guys all gone insane?
And no holds barred approach.
And that's the problem that we're talking about.
Get real.
On what everybody is talking about.
You just gave me chills. Thank you for that. I feel like you just spoke for every single viewer that is watching right now.
Welcome back to DBL. Bill Rancic is the first reality show contestant to hear the words, "You fired." Excuse me, "You hired" from Donald Trump. Now he is his own boss, advocating for cancer care. And earlier, he opened up to Jeff about his wife Giuliana's battle with the disease. In today's Chatting with the Stars.
Bill Rancic, welcome to Daily Blast Live. As the first winner of The Apprentice, you were part of reality TV history. What did you learn from your former boss and president, and when was the last time you spoke with him?
Well, it was funny. When I did The Apprentice, reality TV was in its infancy. Lo and behold, it was one of the most highly rated shows of that year. So for me, it was an opportunity of a lifetime, and it helped me go on to do other great things. Through that experience, I met my wife, Giuliana, as well.
What was it like, getting interviewed by Giuliana after you were winning The Apprentice, and then somehow you started talking about kids, marriage, your zodiac sign? You asked her out on a date. Was that love at first sight right there, Bill?
What do you look for in a girl?
I want someone who's fun and, exciting, and someone you can share your life with, someone who's, into adventure.
She was interviewing me, ironically enough. I was out promoting one of the, I think it was season 3, because I became a judge on the show, and I knew that she was a runner, and after the interview I worked up enough courage to ask her if she wanted to go for a run sometime. And she kind of looked at me funny, and she paused, and she said, "How about dinner instead?" And that was it. It was love at first sight. We were engaged like 10 or 11 months later, and we've been together over 15 years now, and we have an 8-year-old son named Duke.
Back in 2011, Giuliana was diagnosed with cancer, but now she's back on that same red carpet, Bill.
Come on.
What's the latest on Giuliana's cancer recovery right now?
Well, she's been cancer-free, thank God, and you know, certainly she has used this negative and turned it into a positive. And through showcasing her cancer journey on the Juliana and Bill show, we were able to, you know, really inspire a lot of people to go out and get mammograms or give self-exams, whatever the case may be.
Bill, what was it like for you? Because everyone always asks about Juliana. What was it like for you caring for a spouse with cancer? Were you scared at any point?
You know, when you're a caregiver, it's funny, you wear a lot of different hats. But I think the most important role I played was helping Juliana make decisions based on knowledge rather than decisions based on emotion.
That's great advice, Bill. Now, you're currently promoting the C3 Prize. People from all over the world submitted their best ideas about improving cancer care. What else can you tell us about this challenge, Bill?
Well, it's the C3 Prize, and we've been doing it for 5 years now, and it stands for Changing Cancer Care. And our mission is really to improve the life of those people who are impacted by cancer beyond the medicine component.
We want to recognize all of the innovators who submitted their ideas to change cancer care this year.
I needed to join this movement because Juliana and I started this 10 years ago, and I wanted to keep moving it forward.
Thank you so much for talking to us today. You answered so many great questions, but I got to be honest, Bill, you didn't answer the one about when the last time you talked to the president was.
Oh, you know what? He's been pretty busy, and you know, I've been letting him do his job, and I've been focusing on and helping people with the cancer. So anyone who wants to join this movement, they can go to c3prize.com and join the movement.
Bill, you're a genius with the answers. I was only teasing you, man. You're doing something way better. So, Bill Rancic, thank you so much for joining us on Daily Blast.
I know you
Live.
were. I know.
Totally teasing with you, man. Totally teasing with you. Listen, give our best to Juliana and the rest of the family, and continue.
No, great job out there too.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Hopefully, you know, when the COVID settles down, we can get you guys in studio one day if you're ever in Denver.
Well, count us in. We love Denver. That's where our son was born.
Bill, thank you so much, man. We'll be right back, everybody.
Okay.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
For a lot of people still waiting for stimulus checks, they should soon be in the mail. But that is not true for everyone. Let's connect the dots. People who receive Social Security and other federal benefits but don't normally file a tax return should start having their stimulus payments processed this weekend. The IRS says the majority of those payments will be sent electronically and should be received by April 7th. This is welcome news because many people on Social Security have so far not received their individual $1,400 payments. So why were the checks held up? The short answer is red tape. The long answer is the Social Security Act does not allow the agency to use money for administrative work not connected to their main mission. That means they couldn't get the IRS the information it needed to send out checks, but thanks to some legal wrangling, that has now been worked out. One group left out of this good news, VA beneficiaries. The IRS says it is continuing to review data it has on people who receive veterans benefits but don't file tax returns. But it does expect to come up with a payment date soon, hopefully around mid-April.
DBL, it's time for a security alert sponsored by LifeLock. So there's a big increase in gift card scams happening right now. The Better Business Bureau is reporting that gift card scams have nearly tripled over the past 3 years. The scammers are targeting consumers again over 65 and asking them to make a payment via a gift card. They take your money and sometimes even your personal info. Gift cards don't carry the same protection as credit or debit cards, so once they take your money, it's very hard to get it back. But if your information has been breached, LifeLock is here to help. LifeLock keeps you and your digital identity secure from cyber criminals. Call 1-800-439-9017 or visit lifelock.com to learn more. Important to keep your eyes on the elders, guys. It's very important to do so. I got a great comments about the 9-year-old testifying I want to read to you guys. Jen said she lived it already. So actually talking about it and helping out the ones that are responsible may help her in a way, which I think I hadn't thought about.
Do you see that judge?
I know.
How was that helpful? He was condescending and then I mean, what?
Well, hopefully not to the child.
Right.
Yeah, victim impact statements really change a lot of things for either victims or the people who are in proximity to them.
I hadn't thought of it that way, and that gives me hope. Crystal says, my first thought was that poor child will forever have those images, but I agree with you all on the panel. You need that child to tell what she saw in order for reality to be recognized.
Think about Maya Angelou, who believed that her voice actually killed a man, like when she named her accuser. Right. But it was like she understood the power of her voice. Now that's an extreme circumstance, but when children understand the power of their voice, that speaking out can actually make an impact on circumstances, you would be surprised how much more mature some of these kids are than their average age, peer.
Bless her, bless her. All right, goodbye to our coworkers at home today. When the pandemic's over, we'll be back again. DBL's new every day. Bye, guys.